Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to the School of Personal Finance. So in the last 2 weeks, I've come across two different individuals that have access to a Mega Backdoor Roth 401k plan. So that is a mouthful. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what that is, how you could find out if you might have the opportunity to contribute to a Mega Backdoor Roth at work, and all the requirements and all that fun stuff. All right, let's get to it. All right, so real quick before we get started, come enroll in the School of Personal Finance. Come take our pre-recorded courses, Master Your Family's Finances in 30 days, where I walk you through step-by-step to creating your own financial plan. I have a credit card masterclass in there where we talk about the correct way to use credit cards and credit card rewards programs. I have a course on all different types of investment accounts like IRAs and Roth IRAs and how to choose the best one for you. And then I'm also offering live courses where we're gonna talk about how to get out of debt, investing in real estate, saving on taxes. And then beyond that, I'm also going to have weekly office hours where you could come in and ask me anything. So all of this for a one-time enrollment fee. So go over to schoolofpersonalfinance.com and enroll today. All right, so a Mega Backdoor Roth. So let's kind of look under the hood and try to make sense of exactly how it works and what it is. So now in your 401k plan through work, you might not know this, but you could contribute up to $61,000 total in the year 2022. Now that $61,000, that is the sum of a few different pieces. So like for your 401k, you could contribute up to a maximum of $20,500 for 2022. Now I'm speaking to people that are below the age of 50. If you're 50 or older, then you have catch-up contributions that you could do on top of that. But if you're below the age of 50, $20,500, that's how much you could contribute into your 401k, be it a pre-tax 401k or a traditional 401k or a Roth 401k. And you could do a combination of both. You could do $10,000 into the pre-tax or the traditional side, and then you could do $10,500 into the Roth side, but you can't go over that $20,500. Right? And then you have your employer match. So let's just say for simplicity purposes that your employer will match a maximum of $10,500. All right, so you put in $20,500, your employer match is $10,500. So that is a total of $31,000 that has now gone into your 401k plan. So what some plans will allow is after-tax contributions above and beyond. So it's not contributions where you get a tax deduction, or it's not contributions that could go into the Roth side. It is after-tax contributions. And if your plan allows that, then in this example, you would have an additional $30,000 that you could contribute on an after-tax basis into the 401k plan. So all three of those would add up to that $61,000. So now you might be asking, why would you want to contribute to the after-tax portion of your 401k? And really the only reason is for tax deferral, right? So if you put in after-tax money, that means that you did not get a tax deduction for putting it in there. It goes into the 401k, and as that money grows throughout the years, you're not going to pay taxes on any growth or dividends or anything. It's going to be tax sheltered inside of the 401k plan. But then when you take that money out, you are going to have to pay ordinary income taxes on any of the growth. So the amount that you contribute after tax, you'll not have to pay taxes on again. That would be called your cost basis. But any of the growth throughout all of those years, when you take it out, you will then have to pay ordinary income taxes on. So some people do use these after-tax contributions. For me personally, I'm not a huge fan of them. I think that there are other ways that you could invest. I love maxing out your 401k and getting the full employer match, but on an after-tax contribution basis, I typically don't recommend doing that because I'd rather save even in the brokerage account where I have access to that money at other stages of life, like maybe in my 40s or in my 50s, as opposed to locking it up inside of a 401k plan where you're also stuck with whatever limitations you have in there as far as investment options and everything. But if your 401k plan offers this option to convert your after-tax contributions into the Roth 401k inside of the plan, then this is where the Mega Backdoor Roth comes into play. So in this scenario that we're making up here, the $30,000 that you could contribute after tax into your 401k, if your plan allows you to immediately convert those contributions into the Roth 401k, then that is a gold mine. Because now what you are doing is you're taking after-tax contributions, converting them over to the Roth. There's no tax implications because you're putting in after-tax money. You already pay taxes on it. It's converting into the Roth 401k, and then that money is going to grow tax-free forever. So that is where the Mega Backdoor Roth, the term, comes into play. Now, it's worth noting that the Build Back Better plan that was never passed was trying to put an end to this. So this is on their radar. This might not be around forever, but while it is, if you have the opportunity, it is a great way to save more money. So I'm going to try to summarize this up a little bit cleaner because I know that it's kind of complicated and I was a little bit all over the place. So here's really what you need to know. The Mega Backdoor Roth, it is through your 401k. It is an option to be able to save above and beyond the limitations of the $20,500 maximum that people normally save in their 401ks. So it's the opportunity to be able to save more than that. So if you're not even maxing out your 401k at this point, then you're not going to qualify for this. All right. So now the second thing is that your plan has to offer it. All right, it has to be made available in your plan, and many plans do not have the functionality. They are not set up to allow these Mega Backdoor Roth contributions. So the first step is asking your employer, your HR department, if your plan allows for after-tax contributions. All right, so that is going to be the amount above the $20,500 that you could normally contribute to your 401k if you could do after-tax contributions above that. If the answer is no, then you're not going to be able to do the Mega Backdoor Roth option. The next question is going to be, do you allow for in-plan conversions from the after-tax money to the Roth 401k? If the answer to that is yes, now we are in business, because that means you could make those after-tax contributions and then right within your 401k plan, you could go ahead and convert them basically immediately over to the Roth 401k. And then you will be able to do this Mega Backdoor contribution throughout the year, which would be awesome. If the answer to that is no, they don't allow you to do the in-plan conversion, then the next question is, do you allow for in-service distributions? And what that means is that while you're working there, that you are able to make a distribution from your after-tax 401k account, and you could make a distribution, a rollover to a Roth IRA, because that'll get you to the same destination. If you could put it into a Roth IRA, then that money will grow tax-free forever as long as you abide by the Roth IRA rules, and you will be golden. So if they allow for that, then you are good to go. If the answer is no to the in-service conversions, and it's also no to the in-service distributions, then you're out of luck. Then that means if they allow for after-tax contributions, then that means that you can make the after-tax contributions, but you can't do anything with them. You can't get them over into the Roth, which is where you want it to go. And if you make after-tax contributions and you leave it in there and the money's invested, then as the money grows throughout your life, you could eventually roll it to a Roth IRA, but you will owe taxes on all of the growth while it's in that after-tax portion of the 401k. So that is not ideal. You want to be able to convert it immediately so that there's no tax consequences. Like a simple example, let's say in the paycheck, you could put $2,000 into the after-tax portion of your 401k, and then they will immediately allow you to convert it. So you put $2,000 in after tax, you convert it into the Roth 401k portion at $2,000. Now that money is going to grow tax-free forever. Where on the flip side, if you put $2,000 in to the after-tax contributions, and then it grows to say $4,000 over the years, and then you convert it over into a Roth IRA, you're going to owe taxes on that $2,000 of gains, of growth that it's had while it's been sitting in that after-tax bucket inside of your 401k account. So hopefully that made sense. I know it's a little bit confusing, but if you have this available to you, it could be such a mega way for you to save for your retirement in a tax-free growth kind of manner. So I am a huge fan of these. You just don't see them that often, but I was surprised when I saw it twice over the last couple of weeks. You know, and in both cases, Fidelity was the record keeper for the 401k plans. They were the ones that were administering these 401ks, and they made it so easy. Where on the website, you could just go ahead and select it, and they will do the conversion after each contribution. So it was just a drop-down menu to set it up, and it was very simple. And you know, if you are self-employed and you are looking to start a 401k plan for your business, or if you have a solo 401k plan, this is something that you should be able to create on your own to be able to save more money for yourself in retirement. So obviously there's a lot more that goes into setting up a 401k plan for a small business, but it's something that is worth looking into if you do have your own business, or if you're a solo entrepreneur and you're self-employed with no employees. Then it becomes a little bit easier, where if you have employees, there's other considerations to have, but it's definitely something to worth looking into to see if you would qualify, if you would be able to go ahead and do that. Now, also, just to clarify, this is different than a Roth IRA or a backdoor Roth IRA. Like with a Roth IRA, you could contribute up to $6,000 a year, and that is an individual retirement account. So that's not tied to any employer. You could open it up at, Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, wherever, have your Roth IRA make $6,000 worth of contributions in the year 2022, as long as you qualify. There are income limitations where if you make too much money, then you cannot do a Roth IRA, and that's where the backdoor Roth IRA comes into play, where if you make too much money, there is a way to do a backdoor Roth IRA. And I'm not going to go into the details in this video. I do have videos where I talked about how to do a backdoor Roth IRA, but for the Mega Backdoor Roth, that is different. That is through your employer. That is different than a Roth IRA. But in most cases, if you have them available, then you do both of them, right? You could do the Mega Backdoor Roth, and you could also do the backdoor Roth IRA and get a significant amount of money in these tax-free types of accounts. I mean, that's really the reason why Congress is looking to put an end to them, because they think that it gives people with a higher income an unfair advantage and ways to save more money on a tax-favored basis. All right, everyone, that is it for this one. It's a little bit confusing. Hopefully I kind of made sense of all of that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you did. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Go check out schoolofpersonalfinance.com. Enroll, get up in there with me, join the community, and I'll see you again in the next one. Thanks.